All right, what's next?
All right, we're going to do a song called White Cross.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Saw her on St. James Street. She looked the other way. Now all the uptown hustlers say deal has been delayed. Good friend, if you're a gambler, don't bet on me too long, 'cause the angels say they love me, even though I did them wrong. So I do another white cross. That's the country blues. It's the only thing I ever learned to do. Good times didn't suit me. I had to taste the pain in the Oyster Palace back room where night was always day. Played a little guitar, dealt a lot of stuff with the spirits round my ankles, like the Mississippi mud. So I do another white cross. That's the country blues. It's the only thing I ever learned to do. First one goes down better than you kinda like to take. Someone has to lose, payback happens every day. If you play the devil's music, he likes to come along. I know the angels love me, even though I took their song. So I do another white cross. I sing the country blues. It's the only thing I'll never, ever lose. Woo-hoo.
It's another one from the band I See Hawks in L.A. here on WNCW on a Monday morning. The band is playing tomorrow night at the Gray Eagle in Asheville. So just one more day or so in the Carolinas.
Yep. Then we're back home, and gonna be excited to have Alex with us at the Eagle tomorrow night too.
Yeah, great. We were talking recently about how you play various different venues. Sometimes it's like a small little folk club. Sometimes it's the Skunk Farm and whatever vibes that might evoke, or a big old festival, or the Topanga Community Center, and you adjust your set list accordingly.
Sure.
Right? Because sometimes you have a sound, but actually no, you have like a couple, 3 or 4 sounds, and they kind of morph. And I hadn't really thought of that much before with bands having to shapeshift their set list based on where they're playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's true. And a lot of times, we try to think about who's gonna get this song and who's not gonna get this song.
Yeah, we've got that too. And for volume and sound, and I mean, lots of times we do these kind of intimate acoustic shows, and Victoria plays brushes on snare, and we don't have big drum kit, and Paul plays acoustic, or he plays dobro. We do that, and then sometimes we get really big and really loud and kind of rowdy and country rock, and sometimes we get great guys like Alex to join us, or pedal steel players or violin players, and sometimes the band gets really big, and then sometimes the band gets really small. So it keeps it interesting for us, and we do get sort of like, we'll get in a kind of a run where we do a whole bunch of acoustic songs or acoustic shows, and then it's like, oh man, it's so weird to play electric, or the other way around.
Yeah. Well, you play songs, regularly, and they become the ones that kind of become crowd favorites and such. But have you ever played a song that's like an established one of yours, and then it just didn't like go over quite as you expected? Does that happen sometimes?
I'm sure it has,
Probably.
but we're pretty good at blocking that kind of stuff out.
There you go. That's a good trick of the trade, and a safety, self-preservation mechanism.
I'm sure it has.
It's like when a shortstop makes an error, you can't dwell on that.
Yeah, that's right.
Just move on.
Yeah, when you throw the interception, you just got to, make the next play and go for the end zone.
Yeah, very good. That's good. That's Rob Waller talking, and Paul Marshall, the bassist here. And we were mentioning Paul Locke's polka background. And also you played in a band called the Bone Daddies.
Yes.
I remember them, kind of a world beat sound.
Yeah.
But at the festival the other day, someone disclosed to me, Mr. Marshall, that you played in a band way back in the day, like back in the day, called the Strawberry Alarm Clock.
Yes.
Is this a vicious rumor or what?
It's true.
All right, on.
It was not my first band, but I joined that band in 1969.
All right.
And played until we kind of broke up in 1971.
Okay.
And had a lot of interesting times, toured the country. It was a great time to be 19 years old and in a rock and roll band with a million-selling record.
Right.
That was fun. And then we got to make the movie Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, and it's kind of cool to be in a cult classic, as it were.
I'm not familiar with this.
Oh, you gotta
must
see it.
check it out.
Beyond the Valley of the Dolls.
Written by Roger Ebert.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Is it Roger Corman?
Not Roger Corman.
The other dude.
Russ Meyer.
Russ Meyer.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you're in it with the Strawberry
yes.
Alarm Clock.
With a big
We're the
old
band-
mustache.
We're the band at the party.
No kidding.
Paul's
right.
all over it. He's got a lot of coverage.
I wrote a couple songs that were in the movie, too.
Oh, excellent. A lot of bands are a lot of folks only know like a song or two, like Incense and Peppermints or something, but you dig deeper and you find all sorts of other little nuggets of truth.
What's the song about the pillow?
Mushroom pillow.
Mushroom
Rainy
pillow.
Day Mushroom Pillow.
Yeah.
We got to cover that.
We got to cover that one.
That's cool. Right on. Well, you said, Paul, that wasn't your first band. What was your first band?
My first band that got a record deal when I was like 16 was it was a band called the Bo Shamans, and we recorded for Bob Keene's record company, Mustang. He also, the Bobby Fuller Four was the big artist on the label, and then he recorded us, and
Richie Havens.
Oh.
he was quite a successful independent record producer, and that was fun. 16 years old, man. I thought I knew everything, and then I realized I really didn't know everything.
Right, yeah,
a lot
exactly.
to learn, but it was a lot of fun.
That's Paul Marshall, the bassist, talking here with IC Hawks in LA. And we should mention Paul is wearing a nice WNCW T-shirt. Thank you very much.
Man, had to do that. You got to represent.
It's a relatively new one, but with our old logo from the 90s. So maybe you got it last time you were here. And I think it was the other Paul the other day at the Skunk Fest. Was it you wearing an older Going Across the Mountain shirt? Is that right?
I had the 10,000 hours of bluegrass T-shirt.
And counting.
Which you gave
Yeah.
me.
We used to play a game when we would
really?
tour.
Yeah.
We still do every once in a while called Bluegrass Marathon, where we'd play bluegrass in the van for as long as we could until somebody just, broke.
Well, broke a string, right? Because that's all that would happen. You just keep
You
going.
just restring and keep going.
All
I think
right.
we might have gone an hour and a half before our old drummer said, "Dudes, I can't do this anymore."
Right. I was going to say probably the drummer would feel a little like, I don't know, something lacking or something.